Okay, if you are judging from the title of this video, you're like, what is this gonna be about? Today, I wanna talk about why people like me will destroy you at every step of your life in an effort for you guys to see maybe your shortcomings or maybe what you need to improve in your own life so that you can become the top 1% that you can be and become the best version of yourself, because life is too short to be a fucking loser. And I wanna break this up into a couple things. To become 1%, if you wanna really become a 1% man, first let's define what that is. I wanna look at things you can control, which is income, ability, character, and mental fortitude. I think those are the four things that dictate who you are as a man and how good you can be in certain areas. Okay, let's start with mental. Reason number one why someone like me will absolutely run your shit in everything that we do is because of my mentality. I want to tell you guys a little story. When I got into sales, I shut down my agency, I got into sales. The big offer that I made a decent amount of money on, I at the time had like $5,000 in my bank account. I had like no money because my agency had been shut down, so I didn't really have income coming in. I wasn't really closing on an offer actively yet, so I was in that like la land of not doing much. So this offer in California offered to fly me out. I went out there with my brother actually, and we went to this place in Long Beach, California. It's the first time I had ever been on an airplane actually. I was 20 or 21 years old. First time I ever flown. We get to California and they presented it to us as like, oh, we're gonna fly you guys out. We're gonna put you up. We're gonna take care of you. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm sleeping on this crusty ass trap house mattress. This apartment was so bad that like the ceiling in the shower was like touching my head. Like it was like really bad. It was worse than where I grew up. So we're there for 2 weeks. My brother was like sleeping on the couch in no better situation. And we didn't have food there. We didn't really have shit. It was awful. It was terrible. And you know what I did for those 2 weeks? Instead of complain about it and be like, oh, I want to go home. I did want to go home. And me and my brother talked about it. We said, you know what? This sucks. Like, why are we letting this company do this to us? Like, let's go home. We decided to stick it through. We decided to stay. So what I did in those 2 weeks, I woke up at 5 a.m. every day and I took calls and I outbound dialed and I made phone calls until 11 o'clock at night. And then I would work out and then I would go to sleep. And then I would wake up at 5 a.m. again. I did this every single day for 2 weeks. Most of you motherfuckers would go home. 2 weeks of hell, you'd go home. And that's what separates people. I had someone shoot me a message the other day, Jacob Levinrad, my brother's working with him. He texted me, he said, bro, like what is in you and your brother's genes? Like you guys are the fucking same. And what he means by that is we're fucking animals. Like we are literally crazy in a very calm, calculated, controlled way. And that's very rare. And I'm telling you guys that story as an example of that's why a lot of you are not successful. You can't go sleep in the trap house for 2 weeks and wake up at 5 a.m. and make 300 dials and close deals and talk to people and get rejected. And I even had people coming into the office and meeting them in person. They'd come in from an ad. I'd call them and be like, oh, where are you at? Oh, I'm in Long Beach. Okay, cool. Come into the office. And I would sell them right there. No fear. No hesitation. You want me to hop on a plane and fly across the country from Ohio to California and sleep on a crusty mattress with no sheets for 2 weeks because it's going to make me better and it's going to make me tougher and it's going to make me more money? Okay, cool. Say less. I'm gone. And we went. And a lot of you guys won't do that, right? Even in my program, I have students that come into my program. And there's this one guy in particular. I'm not going to say his name, but he literally says he's watched our course 3 times, hasn't attended a coaching call, and he's complaining, asking me how to get an offer. And I said, hey, have you watched the program? Yeah, I have like 3 times. Okay. Do what it says. Oh, well, but how many messages should I expect to send before I get any success? And you know what I told the guy? I literally told the guy, you're acting like a whiny bitch. Don't message me this again. That's what I told him. Because instead of saying, hey, I'm going to send as many messages as it takes to be successful, he said, what's the minimum that I should send to expect something to work? Because he's a little bitch. A lot of you guys have this little voice in your head that is not encouraging you. It's not pushing you to be better. It's this little bitch voice. It's like, oh, like what's the minimum I got to do? What's the bare minimum I got to do to be successful? That is not how you be successful. Because someone like me, someone like my brother, someone like my friends that I associate with will run you over with no mercy. They will take everything you have and you will be left cold, empty-handed by yourself. That's how it is. The world's not fair. And obviously you want to be a good person. I try my best to be a good person. But when it comes to business, it is competition. And I will run everyone in my way over. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care what my perception is to the public. The people that fuck with me will fuck with me. That's why you guys are watching this video. And the people that don't won't. And I don't care. Because I am full tilt, foot on necks, everything go, foot on the gas to get to my goals, to get to what I want in life. The reason I'm telling you guys this stuff is a lot of you don't have that. Ask yourself as you're watching this video, like, be honest with yourself. Am I being a little bitch often, or am I a man? And I'm like full foot on necks, go mode. Like, which one are you? Like, if I gave you an opportunity and I said, hey, you're going to make 30 grand in the next 2 weeks, but you got to fly out here. You got to sleep on this crusty mattress with no sheets. It's cold and you're in California and it fucking sucks. And you're in like shitty California and you got to work from 5 a.m. to 11 every day. Would you do that? I bet 99% of you would say no. But that 1% of you that would say yes, you're the kind of guy that's crazy enough to make that kind of stuff happen. You're like me. That's the people that were on this world. That's the people that win. Okay. I've never met someone that is very, very successful that I respect that doesn't have that like 1% edge in them. Okay. And I really don't think it's something you're born with. I think you can develop it, but you've got to control your mind. And this whole excerpt, this little story I just told you, all comes back to the point of mental fortitude. Mentally, are you in control of yourself or is your mind in control of you? Think about that. Are you in control of yourself or does your mind and your thoughts and, I gotta look at my phone. I gotta scroll TikTok today. Like, is that controlling you? Like, what is it that's controlling you? Because if you are not the leader of your own mind, you can't be the leader of anything else. You can't master anything if you don't master yourself. That's the bare minimum. That brings me to point number 2. Point number 2 is physical aptitude. Not how athletic are you, right? Some people are more coordinated than others. If you did childhood sports, you're gonna be way more coordinated than if you're not. But for example, if you had to defend yourself against me, could you? If I really wanted to harm you, and not just me, but like anybody else that fights, if I really wanted to harm you or your family, could you stop me with just the power that you have with your 2 hands? We're not talking about weapons. We're not talking about any of that. Could you stop me? Because if you can't, then who cares about all this money that you can make? Who cares about all the cool stuff you can do? Who cares about all the girls you can get? Because someone can just take it from you like that. You're gone. And I don't want to sit here and sound like some tough guy. Like, there's people that could fuck me up, right? I'm still a beginner, but I take it very, very seriously. I train as if it's business. Like, I take business more serious than anything. Business is my sport. I want to be the best. I want to be the Michael Jordan of business. Fuck everybody. I'm the winner. I'm going to destroy you all, right? I have the same attitude in MMA. That's why I started doing wrestling recently. I started doing jiu-jitsu because I realized it doesn't matter if I can strike, if someone can grab a hold of me and absolutely manhandle me. There's no point, right? So I want you guys to ask yourself, to my second point, if I wanted to hurt you, could you stop me? And be honest with yourself. No ego, no I see red. Could you stop me? And if you can't, that's a very, very rude awakening that you need to go get in the gym. And I'm not talking about go lift weights. Obviously, you need to be strong. You gotta build muscle. But you need to go learn how to fight immediately. Because I think, 1, it gives you amazing mental benefit to our first point. But 2, you gotta be able to defend yourself, bro. What happens if one day you're with your wife, you're with your little girls, you have daughters, very fragile people, your wife, your daughters. Like, I'm not being sexist, but like they can't do shit for themselves if someone attacks them. What are you gonna do? You don't have a gun. Let's say they don't have a gun. It's just some crazy person. They want to hurt you. Something wants to hurt you. What are you going to do? I can't do anything. Like, imagine that. Imagine your daughter and wife die or something happens to them on your account because you're a weak little man that didn't think you needed to go fight because your ego, because your fear, because you're scared, because you're lazy. Imagine that, okay? So I think that concludes that point. Point number 3 is making money, okay? It is a bare minimum, I think, as a man to make money. It is the equivalent of you breathing. And if you don't believe me, go on TikTok and go look at all these girls talking about men that make money and men that don't make money and read the comment section. I saw one yesterday. This girl was like, I gotta bully my husband into giving me like a yacht and caviar lifestyle or something. And then all the comments were like, girls, leave him. Girl, you can't make a man do that. Like, they don't give a fuck, bro. If you think these girls are here to like be a ride or die with you, and if you lost everything that they would stay, I got bad news for you, man. I got bad news for you. Obviously, there are some that are angels, and that's amazing. But the majority will leave you the second you can't take care of them. And honestly, I don't really blame them because your job as a man is to protect and provide. And if your mommy or your daddy never told you that, let Uncle Luke tell you that. Because as a man, you've got to understand, we live in a world that is very weak. We live in a world that is very, very, very divided. There's a lot of propaganda against you. There's a lot of psyops against you, trying to confuse you and trying to confuse our young men of what they should and should not do. Like, oh, I should let her pay for half of her meal. I should be equal. No, fuck that. We need to put an end to that stuff now, because if it continues going, our society is going to be even worse than it is now. We've already got LGBTQ pedophile people running around naked in front of little children in parades. Okay, so on to that topic though. Your job is to provide. Your job is to protect. We already talked about protecting, but providing, you need to be making at least $500,000 a year as a man to at least take care of people in any sort of important way. That's the bare minimum. And if that scares you, you need to get to work immediately, improving your mind about money, learning how it works, where it comes from, the economics of money. And then you need to learn skills to acquire money. You don't need to learn a business model. You need to learn skills, okay? You need to learn sales. You need to learn marketing. You need to learn copywriting. You need to learn psychology, psychology, and you need to learn human behavior. If you learn those 5 things and you apply them and you actually work hard and you actually do the things you need to do, I promise you, bro, I promise you, you will make millions of dollars in your lifetime. Millions and millions and millions of dollars, okay? I'm 23 years old. I will clear over $3 million take home this year. Okay, I will clear it. And that number to me pisses me off. I feel like that's so small. I feel so poor. And I know it sounds ridiculous because I used to think $500 was a lot of money, but I will feel so poor hitting that this year because my mind is elevated to such a place that I have attached like my worth and the standard in which I hold myself that $3 million is shitty. I need to be doing 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million. And if you guys don't have that mindset, and again, that brings me back to my point, you've got to raise the standard. Guys, standards are a beautiful thing. Whatever standard you hold yourself to is what you're going to be measured against as far as how quickly and how far you can progress. If your standard for yourself is $10,000 a month, you will only be able to hit at the peak $10,000 a month, okay? If the standard for you is $20 million a year, even if you're short of that standard, but you get halfway there, that's 10 million, where you get 75% of the way there, it's 15 million, okay? You are the standards that you set for yourself. And financially, I want you guys to really, really ingrain into your brain. Obviously, I have 100 other videos on this channel that will show you financially how to go make money, how to learn these skills, how to learn sales. But I want you to ingrain in your brain, I need to make as much money as humanly possible. And there's a lot of different reasons we can go over. I don't want to make this video too long, but guys, the world is coming to get you. If you don't have money, you don't have power. If you don't have power in the coming years, you are absolutely fucked. Your family is fucked. Everyone you love is fucked. And do you want to sit by and watch that happen financially and you can't defend your family in that way the same way you can't defend them physically? You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's just 2 different ways that bad things can happen. But if you have a lot of money and you can defend your family, then you're a lot better off, okay? And finally, I want to talk about character. Guys, this is not something that I hear these internet guru people talk about. And I think there's a reason for that. The most important thing that you have as a man is your word, it's your work ethic, and it is your character. The reason that I build relationships with people is because I value their character. I don't care about their money. I don't care about their skills. I don't care about what they can do for me. I value their character. And I've met some people that have really shitty character, and I've met people that have great character. And I can guarantee you the most important part of you as a man and your reputation and who you are, money, skills, fighting, all this aside, like who are you at the end of the day? The only thing that you take with you when you die is your character. Like that's it. Who were you as a man? Like, did you take care of the poor? Were you reliable? Were you trustworthy? Were you loyal? Did you take care of your friends, right? Like that stuff matters. And no one talks about this because it's not like sexy buzzwords. And like this video probably won't even get a lot of views, but the people that implement this stuff, it'll change your life. You know what I mean? And I didn't have a father to tell me all of this. I had my grandfather and I had a couple role models, thankfully, that ingrained that into my head. But guys, young men today are so lost and they don't have good character. They're fine with just doing sinful, haram shit because it's funny or it's cool. Like it's not cool. It's not cool. You need to have good character as a man and you need to do the right thing even if it's hard. I am brutally honest with my friends to the point where sometimes they get really mad at me and sometimes I hurt their feelings. But then they come around and every time it's a thank you. They give me a hug. I appreciate you. Thank you for being real with me. And they respect me because I'm real with them. They respect me because I keep it extremely real. No matter if it is going to hurt their feelings, it's going to hurt my feelings, or it's going to be the easy thing to do. Right is not always easy. Watch any fictional movie. The right thing is not the easy thing. The hero's journey, it's not easy, but it's the right thing to do. And in a world of sin and in a world of we're just going nuts right now. Like I won't even get into all the craziness that's happening. I'm sure you understand, but it's never been more important than to be a man that is standing by his values and by his principles and is saying, you know what, this is not cool. We're not going to do this anymore. I'm going to put my foot down. And as soon as men start to do that, and as soon as it starts to happen again, that's when we'll start to see change take place and we'll get back to more of like a God-fearing, living the right way kind of society. But it starts small. It starts with you watching this video. It starts with you understanding, okay, I'm going to do the best I can to be the best man I can be. And that's not just money. It's not fighting. It's not just your mental. It's like, who are you at a soul level? Go learn about God. Go learn about religion, okay? I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Jewish. There's a reason that millions and millions of people and history and culture has been built around certain principles. There's a reason for that. And it all comes down to, at the end of the day, character. So young men watching this, I really, really, really want the best for you guys. And I really hope you take everything in this video to heart. But I'm telling you, there's nothing more important in this world than taking care of the people you love, protecting the people you love, being a good man, and making sure that you can do all those things. Okay. So God bless you. I hope you got some value out of this little schizo rant of mine. And if you want any help building skills and making actual money, that's maybe one of the most important things to get you off the ground. Anywhere on this channel, I have a ton of videos, but God bless you guys, and I'll see you soon.